Instant bands ready and LeBlanc banned away. Same here for the Galio. That was played by Huni before.
Love me some Bard. Saw 10 of them on the screen right there. That was
Yeah.
great. LeBlanc, Gragas here. I think those are good bans against the Marines.
Definitely Gragas. I mean, Dumbledore talked about it a little bit as well. The top laner, super high preference for that Gragas, and did play a very big front line for them.
I want to see Huni go off this game. I want SKT to say, because SKT, they have the versatility to play in any carry matchup that they can. Like, they have 4 carry players. They can slide 2 or 3 up and take 1 guy in a supported role. Like, we've seen Faker go Lulu or Karma. We've seen protected Peanut compositions. We've seen Huni on tanks and carries. This game, I want to see Huni all the way up there.
I thoroughly enjoyed Huni's Galio play. I don't know what you're talking about. I do enjoy.
Well, Galio's banned, Kobe, and for that exact reason.
I'm well aware. I'm just saying, I think he did go off already in game number 1. Definitely, let's see him rack up the kills, though. That's what you're looking for, the bloodshed.
We'll see the bloodshed happens here. Zig's gone off the table. Slay's probably never going to get that one this entire tournament because, honestly, not enough teams play Zig so you can scrim against that often, where at a certain point you just say, you know what, let's just not give you that one possible edge.
As a bot laner, it's also just, it feels kind of cheating. Like, this guy's playing only AFK wave push. Come on, man. At least respect the craft of the lane. Don't play Ziggs. I feel the same way about Karma.
Crepo over here.
Yeah, all these range supports just AFK pushing. Like, where's the glory?
You're only allowed to play Thresh every game and Bard. That's all you're allowed to play every game. That's Crepo's world.
Okay, give me that Alistar these days, man.
Yeah, Leona, Alistar, and maybe Tom Kench allowed as well. That's
too bad. It's going to be Lulu, boys. Big surprise here. Going to lock that in. We'll remind everybody this is definitely a flex pick for SKT.
You can't just drop the F-bomb like that. You can't talk about flex picks all the time. I'm sorry, that was a bad joke.
That's fine. They happen.
Yeah.
I know how that feels. Karma Graves here is usually the reactionary rotation because Graves strong early game jungler, and you don't want to give SKT both Karma and Lulu because they've been shown, or they have been showing that you're quite good with that comp.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about AD carry uptime or marksman uptime or whatever. Bang has over 600 DPM in the regular season. Just absolutely insane. He is the pinnacle, of putting out DPS. If you add speed and shields to this guy, it actually just becomes insane.
Because he's the one, we talk about 4 carries, well, he's always one of them.
Yes,
Never
always.
Sliding back right there. Peanut getting his signature Lee Sin here. One of the best champions so far. And Kobe.
Oh, Rumble. Well, I still have flashbacks to Huni Rumble. Oh, it was banned like 80% of the time during his stay in North America. Huni's Rumble is absolutely insane, and you definitely will see him way more towards that damage output end of the spectrum here, Crepo.
Well, now we get to see if Stark's going to be able to bring in some kind of counter pick. I know we think coming in Huni is significantly the better player, and certainly their pedigrees say that, but you blind pick a top laner, counter picks do exist, and we know Levi's a great jungler. The 2-on-1, the 2-on-2, maybe something can happen here.
Yeah, but Stark will have to bend the knee right there. He's going to get kind of screwed over in draft phase because Marines are like, okay, they haven't drafted a mid laner yet. We're third purple side. Let's draft mid laner, ban 2 out, and give Faker at least a harder matchup so Optimus can truly prove that he is 50-50 with Faker.
Syndra is definitely one that so many people do feel comfortable on right now. Are some options open though?
Echo.
I was gonna say I'm a very big fan of this, particularly the Echo matchup, because it also does add, that extra living on the edge kind of feeling there, the Tryndamere player style, and erring on the side of caution. We have seen recently to be advisable actually with those dives, but it definitely is a good matchup into Syndra. And anytime you want to take assassins into our, really enjoy that.
Yeah, but they actually end up opening with the Twitch ban, seemingly still afraid of this maybe Karma composition where they don't want to play the Karma themselves, and they're afraid that SKT goes for Karma Twitch, Karma Kog'Maw right here, and that's why the second ban is the Kog'Maw. But
champions other than Karma still exist though, right? Like we saw TSM run with the Nami in the bot lane instead, and you can play Tom Kench for a different kind of flavor on it as well. So they're banning away the hard carry bot laners, hoping that they can soften that blow. Even if they do go for this kind of comp.
I mean, yeah, Lucian is still available, Ezreal is still available. I'm always a huge fan of Bang's Ezreal, even if it's not the first one that you jump to with attack speed steroids. Still Bang. Exactly. Yep.
All right, so Fizz off the table, actually. A couple of, semi-carry top, and certainly one that's got a good matchup into Rumble. So what are the possible counter picks off the table? We'll see what the first pick ends up being.
There's still that Gled.
Yeah.
Gled combined with jungle pressure.
Ezreal's banned out, by the way.
Oh yeah, Ezreal's already been banned out. So it'll have to be Lucian. But Bang, really had made a mark on that Lucian with the Protect Lucian comp too. And plus, SCT don't even have to go for that. They can play a standard mid lane and put Lulu in support here. We're tunneling very much so on this concept. Yep. Yet the Marines seem aware of it, and they open up with the Karma here, leaving the counter pick for their top laner.
So Graves going to be grabbed up, no surprise here, and it is going to be the Echo potentially that you guys thought about before, and there it's going to be locked in. Echo in the mid lane for Faker to deal with Optimus's Syndra.
Ooh, that's
gonna be a fun one.
That is bold.
It
Picking
is bold.
Syndra and then electing not to ban out Echo with your 2 bans right there. Ooh, I'm not sure if I respect at least the courage it takes to make that decision.
I mean, you respect it up until the point where the solo kills start coming through, right? And then you're like, okay. A little bit of hubris coming through, or maybe just not particularly versed in the matchup. Honestly, though, one of the things I always look for in Echo matchups, in any Echo matchups, is how well they do CS, because so often you'll be trying to use the time warning spam from the very beginning, and it always amazes me how the extremely good Echoes manage to land almost all of those last hits, because for me it's incredibly difficult, as you have to rely on that cooldown. But people like Jensen, who, yes, everyone's going to point to the dive that they weren't able to pull off, but he is just so good at that aspect of it.
We'll have to see on a scale from Kobe to Faker how well Faker will CS in this matchup.
At least a freak. That's going to be at least a little bit of an upgrade here. But of course the champs are locked in. If you didn't catch it, Jace in the top lane here for Stark. So it is going to be 2 highly aggressive top laners here in this one. It's going to be fun to watch for. Triple marksman here for the Gigabyte Marines, with the Syndra being the primary magic damage dealer. Optimus in the mid lane. Faker with, again, that bold pick of Echo in the mid, but he's such a good player. It'll be a fun one to watch regardless. You expect Faker to win, but to be honest, this entire tournament, people have expected the Gigabyte Marines to lose, and yet they continue to upset the expectations. This is the hardest one yet, of course, but they have been known to upset.
And it could be an explosive game here. Not a single tank being drafted. Your top lane is Rumble versus Jace. We have a wealth of one-shot abilities, a lot of mobility right here. We have the Ash Arrow that can come out, so a lot of surprises could happen. So very excited for the first 10 to 15 minutes of this game.
I actually really do enjoy Rumble versus Jace matchup as well. And we'll see how well he does do on the non-Gragas, as it's definitely drawn a lot of criticism.
I got to think, in my mind, the 2-on-2 feels a bit SKT figured, because for the Gigabyte Marines, Jace and Graves are physical damage dealers, and early arm guard Rahuni works against them both. If Stark buys a Hex Drinker, Peanut still does full damage to the guy, and having a mixed damage type, not only in top jungle, but also in mid jungle, also makes it hard for Optimus.
Also, Graves took a bit of a hit. Turgid no longer gets MR on it, so it's still really efficient versus AD users, but when you're playing versus mages mid and top, then Graves kind of falls off in a lot of these fights here. So I'll need to track if that ends up being influential, because SKT is so good at playing on the edge right there.
They are, and we'll see what happens here in this one as we have begun. Crowd chants always fun. Love Brazilian crowds. I've gotten to cast in Brazil twice now, and every time it's been incredible. Shout out to Brazilian crowds, absolutely. And we can see that it's been a very passive early game here. People sitting on their own brushes, and an early trinket ward come down to defend some of this.
The Faker already learned.
Yeah.
No longer peeking around the wall. He's in the mid lane brush right now.
Yep.
Being safe for that invade.
Nothing too scary right here. Thunderlord's no surprise on all the users here, and Fervor continues to be the, generally speaking, best keystone for bot lane marksman. Anything else is a bit unusual unless you're playing Jhin.
Yeah, strong defense here for the Marines to be able to defend the Raptors. Levi actually does, take down the ward kill, and those do give experience. We'll track that, see if it is a big issue, because especially the top lane matchup. Now, Jace is a champion that can go for an early gank on that top lane, starting on this red side and just heading up there with the red buff. Doesn't have mana problems. And the Jace versus Rumble matchup, the Jace does have that extra kill pressure. The Rumble's trying to play it a little bit safe to farm for team interaction.
I wonder if Optimus gets level 2 on first wave, because he revealed the ward, which means he also gets part of that experience and gold. I'll have to see right here. I'll skip, because that actually could be a new strategy that we see with the sweeper on level 1. All right, hit the range keep. Optimus. He's obviously, yeah, he's level 2 on 6 creeps. That's actually a really cool interaction. Bringing a sweeper for a level advantage in a matchup. That's how you beat Faker. Gotta kill that ward early, man.
The extra ward experience coming into it definitely does spice things up a bit. Meanwhile, down on the bottom lane, decent trade there onto the support.
Happens.
Secret Service minion blocks out the gold player, and nothing comes out of that one.
And as expected, they're going super heavy on this top lane, and Levi's going up
wave,
there!
though. He's taking a whole bunch of damage, but really Levi's there. There's a flash chase, goes to the damage, picks it up, first blood into the Marine.
That extra ward experience, I've been waiting for months for this to actually come to fruition. Levi's able to get it off of the Raptors Red into Scuttle Crab. And they head up for the top lane gank onto Huni.
Yeah, we need to track if he actually has an experienced Quinn, because then the ward in the end did not matter, but it definitely helps here. And what we see is Huni, his evolution in this season was that he was much more tempered, much more passive. But against the Gigabyte Marines, he's going ham in this trades. He feels so confident because of these 3 range creeps aiding him in the trade, but he's just completely surprised by a complete topside clear into gank from Levi.
Just as we cautioned, the Graves can go for that super early topside pressure. The Marines are rewarded, and man, they are off to such a good start here.
We can see that Peanut has never lost on Lee Sin this year. And we'll see 11-0, maybe he can make it 12, or maybe the Gigabyte Marines can continue to defy expectations. And what I find extra compelling about Levi's gank, by the way, is so often when you gank early, the other side of your map gets taken away. And the entire jungle is cleared off. No camps were taken away from Levi here. This could have been fortunate based on Peanut's pathing. I didn't quite watch it all, but Peanut had gone Raptors Red top side and then was like, ooh, I can't take bottom jungle anymore.
Yeah, exactly. He was clearing his, blue side quadrant, and there was an instant recall after the kill from Levi, so not time, to get over there. Bottom lane mashup, wasn't quite sure where the push was on that, but that has a huge influence as well when going for those counter jungles.
Levi going to take Ellis away pretty easily enough. Early Smite Stone there for him. Means he can take away some vision control and try to keep Peanut under wraps.
But I love what the Marines are bringing to this game. Are they going to win out in the late game macro? Probably not against the multiple world champion. But they can perfect and optimize some of these early game things. They know there'll be a ward there. They get the sweep off. They remove the vision. Few members get key extra experience. Early level 2 for Optimus. The guaranteed level 3 that Kobe so fawns after very often. And it helps a lot.
No MR for Levi, means he could be going down, and he does. The kill comes through to Peanut. Faker survives the encounter as well, walks away pretty cleanly with an assist in his belt. And that means gold lead now for SKT.
Yeah, pretty cleanly. There was a little bit touch and go there. Did have to burn the flash, and now he doesn't have that summoner for the roam from Archie, who has Ignite.
Powers the route to get a longer duration, can't get much for it though, walks away.
Optimus has to be careful too here. They don't give up though. That is the good thing about the Marines. Like, so many people, they see that failure and they be like, okay guys, complete reset, let's go back to the drawing board. No, they still go for that roam.
Also, I want to touch on a little bit of micro interaction there. Optimus did an intelligent thing. As soon as he gets hit by the first part of the Lee Sin Q, he walks up. We'll talk about that later though. Here is the 2 versus 2 as Faker and Peanut focus the enemy jungler, taking him down. That's generally the strategy for the early on 2v2s in the mid lane. Junglers will have less health, lower level, and you take them out early.
Exhaust did go on Peanut there though. Maybe debatable though. If Faker gets exhausted, maybe goes the other direction.
Yeah, anyways though, for the Lee Sin Q point for Optimus, he walks away from Archie, who's extremely low health. Didn't want to give Peanut the option even of taking that Q into the flash to try and get a cheeky kill on his support. And they are able to get out after that without any further casualties. Here we go on the top side though, as the ward from Mahoney is going to see Levi just after the recall.
Yeah, interesting that Levi didn't actually stay to finish the rest of the Krugs off there. Wanted to be on the other side and picked up boots and a couple of long swords for himself. And we'll get back on the map. It's gold within 200. You're seeing a gigantic lead though for the SKT bot lane. Look at that, plus 16 right now. Showing no sense of letting up.
It is something you can do as long as you have other camps available to take. You take down a big Krug, get the majority of that camp out. That down to the bottom lane here because they seem to be wanting to play 4-man bot side here, put some additional pressure to go against that laning prowess of Bang and Wolf because they're already 20 CS up in that ball.
Yeah, it's going to be a difficult one to turn around from here for the Gigabyte Marines, but still we'll see what happens. 500 gold deficit right now. SKT definitely landing better overall as a squad. Plus 6 for Huni despite the death earlier on. So again, across the map you're seeing some great things. Faker has been splitting with Optimus.
There's 3 lanes pushing right now. Gigabyte Marines. Huni looking for more poke on the start here. Going dangerously low.
It's a lot of damage here. Peanut comes in for the shield and won't quite be able to land into the skill shots just yet. He's got a long way to go. Does have flash though.
This is where Levi's suffering. Everybody's calling for help.
Not gonna do it.
Yeah, Peanut going to close in there and secure the push off of this turret. Levi comes in.
Oh, Peanut. Minuet wasn't there in time, so Peanut took a lot of damage coming into that one. And he actually, late Levi. Oh, he's going to take down Huni, who pulled aggro with the flame spitter. Huni donates the kill over.
Yeah, but he was trying to help Peanut. Peanut sold it out here. He tanked the turret. He flashes out, redirecting the aggro right there.
The domino errors here from SKT as Peanut starts it off and Huni following up to try and save his jungler there. Again, top side of the map, some more gold going over for the Marines here.
Ooh, Peanut's so close, doesn't want to flash for that Q.
I think he was in range, but yeah, chose not to. Has to wait for minions here, so he takes a free charge shot for no reason.
Yeah, and then he goes
then
in.
He doesn't attack. He has no aggro, so Huni takes aggro for nothing.
Yeah.
Huni as well had flash, by the way, so didn't judge that the extra turret shots was going to be enough damage and flashed super early on. Regardless, though, that is going to be some more pressure possible. Goes right back in for this red invade, steals away the red buff as Levi doesn't get over.
I mean, that's the problem with this Echo matchup. The early levels are pretty tough, but Faker bang on even on CS, and now he can start pushing in and constantly helping Peanut invade, and every single lane is asking for help from Levi. That's why he's basing to try and go for pressure, and it also makes it much harder to get successful ganks off. They need mistakes from SKT right now.
And that invade was in large part due to that teleport that the Echo is taking in that matchup, and Faker uses it to get right back to lane for that extra lane pressure to help out with these invades. It's all about, you know, these solo lanes continuously pushing up to offer Peanut more options to invade. You can see every single time Huni goes back, another ward there on the top side.
Can you ever jump that wall? I feel like you, I mean, Faker tried, he must know, but like, that seems like way too short of a dash to get over. But either way, Faker tried and didn't get over. Nothing to be doing there against Optimus.
A mere mortal cannot reach.
Yeah, sorry.
I like
if you're Faker, you're allowed to jump farther walls.
Exactly, I like how in your voice, you're unsure because you're like,
I've played a decent amount of Echo.
Humans cannot jump that wall, but Faker might be able to get over there.
Either way, I'm sure Scar is like, I don't know what he's thinking. Of course you can't do that. Oh, someone's watching me. Lets me know what it's going to be. Right now, the gold is still bang on equal. 10 minutes into this one, Levi not going to get invaded on so much right now. Does have his team's kills, and Graves is one of the bigger carries in League of Legends. The jungle role has to respect that, and yeah, Bang not going to be able to land the ulti. Bit of a fight still down on the bot side as Stark once again is dueling with Huni. Plenty of damage here. Did not go early. Hextech actually forcing the flash. Stark in the 1v1. He has got some help with the earlier kills, but is bullying Huni.
And this is needed for the game to stay even, because the bot side slowly, the 4-man unit of SKT is really taking control of that river. Could have a potentially started a dragon, and every time they push in, they can just move in together and do something. Deep Vision or Dragon, unless Levi can find an opening.
Ooh, he dodges the stun. Crucial by Faker to not get stunned right there. Chumps in. Look at the damage output he's got. Be careful. Ults back in. Not into attack range, though. The flash to follow. Faker's got no more escapes left, but look at the move speed. He's got the flash. The chase. Optimus gets it. Peanut will get him back for it. You got to imagine the 1-for-1.
Worth it. He killed Faker. Able to flash under the turret there, and that is what Optimus wanted. Meanwhile, though, actually, Peanut is the one left around to be able to push in the minion wave.
A lot of dodges from Faker, though, here. Gets the collateral damage to miss. Right now, Peanut resets the wave for the King, and then backs off.
Also, he was able to get not only that flash there at the end out of Optimus, but he uses the exhaust as well. And the Echo does have a large amount of kill pressure on the Syndra, just normally when they get back to lane. So that's going to be something he has to worry about for the future. Here's the dodge he's talking about. The extra speed on the Echo passive is actually insane. Optimus, it is risky going in for that, but he lands it and is able to at least get the kill. If you go down, you miss that, and then get executed by Peanut.
Yeah, but he just missed QE. His jungle just missed R, and he still is willing to go in for a Q predict right there. I love the confidence that the Marines are bringing. Same, Faker goes back with the time warp. Levi immediately goes for a flash into melee range to get that Graves auto off. Like, there's no hesitation. They don't care that they make mistakes. They just keep going for these plays because they know that's the way they have to fight their way out of this matchup.
Yep. Yeah, now you do have to worry about for the future, though, the ramifications of that mid lane play.
Stun is there, though. Faker, no ult. He's going to be a bit of a tight fight onto Optimus. Gets the move speed, though, and he's running for it, getting away. Nice job with the passive. And Zone's best the team out. Just some damage dealt, and honestly an equal trade against Optimus.
Screw your ramifications, says Levi. I'll just visit again. Like, my Syndra has no ulti or no summoners. Well, the enemy Echo has no ulti either. Immediate pressure right here. And meanwhile, top lane as well.
Uh-oh, Stun's gonna get him. Optimus is not long for the world. Time Winder's there. The trade kill, not quite gonna happen. Nice job with the ulti.
The
Comes right back into it.
ramifications.
A quick stun gets him away. Bang, not gonna find much more to do, but Peanut looking for the kickback's gonna find it. Levi is gone. Cooper 0 SKT, now they've got control.
What are you saying? That's going to change into a dragon as well. Both the jungler and mid now go down. You know, huge opening here for SKT. Wolf can move up, get some vision. There are just so many things. You see that no hesitation as well from SKT after a victory like that. As soon as they get a little bit of an edge, they're going to move right in, take tremendous advantages off of it.
Yeah, I was just talking about the ramifications of that mid lane play, Kobe.
Jeez.
Well said, well said. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Forcing the flash, Q's not quite gonna land, the trade back on a bang, looking for the kill. Slay doesn't quite have the damage, he's gonna go down, another one picked up, and Archie's next up on the chopping block. Gonna look for the Q, he's gonna get flash tanked by Peanut. Tries to do this one, a knockback in from Stark. Peanut's one hit away from dead. Look at that in the bot lane, Peanut turns it around anyway. 7-5 SKT.
What a giant jumble of action here, boys. And again, Peanut is the one left around to push the wave. He's going to get even more into the turret for himself. This is all 5 kills going to the Lee Sin, not to mention multiple minion waves. This one is a cannon wave. This is a fed Peanut, boys.
Yeah, this is very reminiscent of Game 3 where they play versus KT, where it eventually became Protect the Peanut comp. More action on the top lane here. Faker's in, Hooney's in, Levi's alone.
Here comes the dive out of that one, gonna get away from the equalizer for now. Looking for damage on a Faker, misses the Q. Oh, he gets him back for it. Looks like the ulti was not even pressed. I think it was up, so Levi does get a trade kill.
Yeah, that's
a nice dive, I guess.
Yeah, the shadow came in, so it was available there.
All right, what's Archie? So like his AD carry goes down, but then he saves the play. It's almost a massive outplay from Stark on the end because Archie is juking literally everything, forcing Peanut to flash. If Stark gets another auto off at the end here, this could actually be a return move from the Gigabyte Marines.
It was super close for him being able to 2v1 this. Comes in, battle rough, able to get the single kill, but Peanut has so much gold at the moment right now, and he is off to the races.
Very close one there. So Stark, you can see 300 gold up on Hooney right now on the top side. Peanut's going to keep the farm going. He'll wait for the blue. Not going to go for it just yet. Faker's not in the lane. A bit more time going to be bought. Hawkshot did reveal that Peanut's on that side of the map, so they know he's topside. They know blue is up and available. We'll see when he goes for it eventually. Optimus going to solo this one as Levi's topside. And we wait around 1,800 gold difference. SKT do have a solid lead for themselves.
But we're seeing some mistakes being made by this SKT lineup because the Marines are just putting so much pressure in kind of these wonky plays where you wouldn't expect teams to be this adamant at the top lane as well. So now Faker fails that dive. That generally never happens.
Looks like first turn going to be right here, and Bang and Wolf, despite getting attacked several times by the rest of the jungle of the opposing team, they have taken this one out right now. And here comes the arrows, going to land the stun on a Bang. Here comes the power, the shield, the run, and they're going to take this one down. The flash, Slay goes on the side of it. They're going to take down Bang, but the first kill has come through anyway. It's a 1-for-1, despite the fact that it was an ulti landing. Now Optimus going for a bit more on a Peanut. Exhaust his zombie, he's kicked into range of Faker. His days are numbered, gets the kill first off, so you can't complain about that one too badly. 2 for 2 overall, though.
Meanwhile,
equal.
In the top lane, Stark had to flash to cancel Hooney's teleport because he was going to completely swing around that play in the bottom lane.
And that was actually a pretty big pickup as far as, you know, getting the kill streak ender there for Optimus, even though he does go down in the 1v1 and had to use his exhaust.
Stark looks for the damage, he gets into the solo kill, under the turret, survives it, doesn't even need a Hex Trigger, that's full damage, the man mode, Jace makes it happen. 2 turrets, the SKT picked up the mid lane, Stark could maybe trade, but he's got to worry about getting rotated on.
Exactly, he's extremely low health. I mean, usually we'll caution against, yes, Jace can just destroy turrets, but actually Faker now was slaying his sights, and remember, he flashed forward in the last engage.
Add an ED to the end, but it's going to be slayed right now. Faker picks him up easily peasy, 1 for nothing, not even a... Kobe's dying next to me. He's
that was terrible.
That was amazing. Optimus now left alone in the mid lane.
All right, take another look at this engage. Yeah, it is. You know, Flay just immediately, he doesn't hesitate to flash right next to Bang.
What he flashed for, though.
He wanted to cut off the retreat, I guess, or something.
It's like, I got you. I'm still hitting you.
Anyways, he was all hyped up for that one. Here goes that interrupt that you're talking about. And he
flashed away.
Had to flash off of the red carpet.
Yeah, gets out right there here, but I love that they're just constantly fighting here. Even though Optimus falls, he gets the shutdown, as you mentioned, Kobe. So hashtag Worth and all that right there. And somehow the Marines, they're still kind of sticking in there.
Root on the bang, does have heal, doesn't have flash, and that's going to last for too long. And this one, kill picked up 1 for 0. Here comes Peanut on the backside, though. Kicks him into the wall. Archie going to take a lot of damage. That's the shield going to keep him alive. And Archie's going to survive. Just kidding. It's a Hoonie roasted Peanut combo to take down 1. And now it's Stark running out of life. Several kills now picked up. SKT looking to keep the chase going. Collateral damage, hoping that Levi is not. That as he runs away from this one. Still advantage SKT.
Flash.
2 for 1. Good flash get away. Hoonie not quite in range, I think. And a bird comes across the map, and now Levi knocked into the air, still running away for his life, and he's going to survive it.
And these are not just random fights that the Marines are taking, though. Even though SKT has the answer ready, they get bang splash both at once. Hang on. Optimus with the confidence.
Flash ult should be enough. The Hex Drinker's there, though, and there's too much shielding now. Optimus with Ignite. Doesn't have the damage, doesn't have Ignite. Peanut survives just barely.
Just a window into the mindset here, willing to flash into a 1v3.
No, you can't. That's not the mindset. That's just bad, Kobe. Like, you can't flash into a 1v3 as a mid laner.
That's the mindset. He's like, trade kills are good.
But this is the second time in 2 minutes they attack bang on the side lane when his flash is down. That thematically makes sense somewhat, at least in terms of aggression play. The problem is, SKT always has the reaction ready, and now, I think, I was going to say Gigabyte Bears, Gigabyte Marines, they're getting stuck in this, like, vortex of chaos and just aggression, and they're losing track of where people are on the map. Like, this reaction play from Optimus is just too much.
And during that, kind of chaos that you're talking about, I was watching the mini-map this entire replay, and it was Faker down there in the 1v2. They fired the Ash arrow at him. Optimus was down there when this play started, trying to follow up on that kill. Faker, not only did he draw out cooldowns and draw away 2 players' time, but he shoved up, and look, at the end of this replay, he gets the turret. I know we're not paying attention to the actual combat on the screen, but Faker takes his toll.
Slay was moving all the way to mid lane and back, and then he was hesitating. It's exactly like that. The Marines are getting stuck in the chaos. Like, they're not working as a team. AD Carry has no clue what's going on the top side of the map.
I'm going to say Optimus, I think, missed some auto attacks there in that fight. Considering how low Peanut got at the end there, Optimus spent a lot of time saying, my spells will do it, and misjudged his damage output. So could have been a 1 for 1, but didn't quite do it perfectly. Now mid lane is under fire. SKT 5,500 gold up. I mean, we've just seen fight, and SKT now with a sizable gold lead.
Well, look at the next play that they're prepping. They've got Levi behind enemy territory. They're targeting Hoonie. Optimus is going to try and shove him under the turret so that Levi can get in there for damage.
Putting a damage onto Hoonie. Here comes the rest of it. There's the collateral, and there's one picked up. On the other side of the map, it's another kill. Just everyone fighting all the time. 26 kills in 20 minutes, looking for more on the top side.
They teleported Stark in, and he's joining.
Not going to get the stun to Levi just yet, but he's running out of health pretty rapidly. Still a lot of punishment. Faker's going to ult back in, gets the kill and a rampage on that one. Stun on a wolf, but supports are not the ideal kills. The chase is through for Peanut. Looks for more. Stark can't find it at all. It's a double. Faker staying alive with the Zonias. Now on to Baron.
The main consistency with these plans from the Marines is that there's no exit plan. They're all about focusing on the kill. Here we go, though. The only person left up for the Marines would be the Ash, and no arrow available.
Also, the consistency in their plans is that their AD carry is not invited to the party. It's like it's a 2-man collapse, but you got to look at the big picture. Who is going to join next? So right now the top fight's going on. Archie fails the blast cone deny here. Peanut just simply one-shots him with Faker coming in.
Yeah.
But look at Slay. He's zoned off. He's so far out of this play. He's not collapsing anywhere near. He's hovering in a brush right now because he's scared of Varus currently. And then topside, Faker wins this. He panic ultis, or he ultis when he's low, and he finds Optimus on his clone as well.
And Bang's able to get consistent damage out with that one. Peanut has just been an absolute menace. 8, 1, and 6. And even a Magi's in for Faker. He's feeling good about himself. And honestly, SKT are running away with his game. Lead almost 9,000 now. Marines are bleeding this game right here. And SKT looking to make it a 2-0 end of the day.
Baron buff is going to give them a lot of that extra pressure as well. As you can see, bottom side is pushed up, and plenty of vision in this blue quadrant for SKT to set up.
Yeah, they haven't even had to show the strong point of their comp is when they have both teleports on the side lanes and they can actually start maneuvering these minion waves around. That's also what the Marines have been trying to attack. And every time any semblance of side lane dominance is being set up by SKT, they try to attack it immediately. Whether it's Bang with his flash down or maybe Hoonie on the side lane. The problem is, not everybody is ready for the follow-up play. They know that they need to attack the side lanes versus a 1v1 comp. The problem is, what's next? Slay is very often not privy to that party.
Because of this one. Still the 9K difference, and SKT has been stacking Drakes. They've got a third mountain on the way later on. At some point, they'll push with Baron, looking for it now. Root onto Archie, not going to be taken down with this one though.
Yeah, they are just buying time there. They default into their 1-3-1. They got pressure on both sides, slowly take down the turrets. Now they can move in.
And they can remove cooldowns before they get to the base here. Faker will always be safe in the 1v1. He might even take Stark down here.
He's more than safe. Looking for the kill into Stark. He's got to be careful. Pops the Zonia's. Ulti won't do as much, but the ulti back from Peanut won't do much either. Has to ult and stays alive through. The shields are there. Forces the flash out, and the turret's going to be going down for that one. Not quite going to find the assassination on the backside. Bang survives through the shielding.
Yeah, but all major cooldowns have been used by the Marines, and Huni did get access to that bot lane turret. It was a slight step over eagerness, though, by SKT. Faker was lost which direction he was traveling at one point. Still, it shows you that you could constantly move the pressure from lane to lane with 1-3-1 and Baron buff here.
And the last defenses are all that the Marines have here. Inhibitor turrets.
Yeah.
The keys here into the base.
It's worth pointing out, all they've been able to do really is just get the kills. 0 turrets, 0 Drakes picked up for the Marines. They've been able to skirmish okay, I suppose. It had some nice fights, some nice looks, but the macro play, you can see the amount of difference between a team like Marines and a team like SKT, where those fights turn into turrets, and the wave pressure's there so that those turrets can be taken.
Oh, teleport here from Faker, actually collapsing on Stark.
For the surround on this one, he's going to be running out of life pretty rapidly. Here gets a knockback on a Huni. Knight's going to land, and here comes Faker to make it all happen, and Bang gets the kill credit.
And that's the difference between SKT and the Marines. For SKT, they may get kills on the way to the objectives. For the Marines, the kills are the objective.
And the minion wave not far behind. They have it in tow, ready to push in, take full advantage of this 30 seconds of the 4v5 power play.
Grab this one. Peanut looks to threaten, goes for the play. Nice damage on Archie. Won't go for the kick just yet, but already the depth of the mid laner is there, and Slay forced to retreat as well. Faker wants in, gets the double kill, looks for that one. Peanut, the knockback, the chase through, gets a third of this. Into the back line they go, a miss on the collateral damage. Faker running low, pops the ulti to stay alive a bit longer, and now forced to retreat away. Pulls Zagger with the Q, a couple more shots will do it. Levi can't quite get the kill picked up. The inhibitor goes down. It's already been the 4 for nothing though, and there's nothing else to do. SKT able to walk away with the base and shambles.
Just like that.
Inhibitor down as well means that there will be very little time for the Marines to breathe here until SKT return.
Yeah,
Here goes another look at the dive ball.
We saw an exciting game so far with a lot of kills back and forth, but in the end, it's nearly 10K gold ahead at this point, I think. 24-minute inhib down, everything set up for success. So while the journey may change, the destination is still the same for SKT here at MSI.
2-0, the pre-tournament favorites, SK Telecom T1, have had some interesting ones. G2 Esports had run them around for the first 15 minutes or so, and Gigabyte Marines had some small edges here, but SKT, you look at the final scoreboard and you're like, oh, 7 turrets to 0? Yeah, it looks like what SKT would expect here, but the 11 kills, so maybe a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, I mean,
2-0.
the Marines had some edges at some points, but Faker's got pages now. He found 10 more of them inside the Marines base. Yeah. Full stack. 20 here for the Medjais, and he's looking to use it.
Yeah, looking to complete that. Goes up to 25 these days, right? That hasn't been changed?
Yeah.
And we don't see them many times in Europe, you know, when
exactly.
he's playing these slow games.
Still remember the, what was it, Gambit against, like, Copenhagen Wolves? Like, what was the game where, like, everyone bought snowball items at the end? It was like in 2014, I remember. It was like a sort of the occult rip and piece that item, and
Ultimate Bravery?
Ultimate Bravery, yeah. SKT can do it at this point with their gold, they probably still win this one. 14,000 up, and all they have to do is close the game out in sub 30 minutes. Shouldn't be a problem for them here as they move to kill towards the triple Mountain Drake. They'll kill him fast, not going to get the stun, but Faker on the back line will right back out and says maybe it was a bit much for him. Even now, Optimus found out here, force the flash wall, still burns down. Huni gets the kill. 1 for 0 so far. Turret still in their sights, hasn't taken too much damage yet, but it will shortly. Another shield in for Faker, looks to go to the back line. This time around though, no ult, he's got to be a bit more careful. Is rooted, Zonia's on, and not going to be enough damage to kill him off, and the kill comes through. 1 is traded back by Stark, but it's 3 for 1 so far. With a 4v2 and into the Nexus turrets they go. SKT going to close it out. Going to start out the mid-season Invitational 2-0. They've only got a few more opponents left to kill before they ensure themselves that first place spot so far. Gigabyte Marines did get that upset win over TSM earlier. They will end the day 1-1. But SKT take care of business. The perfectly synced Flare is there. 2-0 SKT.
And the last fight was while they were super far ahead, a good example of why SKT is so dominant, because they move so fluidly in and out of fights. It seems like one guy is always controlling these 5 units, and the end result is that there's so much space being created for the AD carry to have his mark on that game. That seems to be the one consistent part here. Bang and Wolf working together as Faker dives in, Huni dives in and out, but he's constantly having that really high uptime that Colby loves to talk about.
One of the things I hear most often when I talk to the pros after they play SKT, one of their biggest complaints is it feels like you don't have time to think when you're playing against SKT. So even when you're trying to play this high tempo game and you're trying to match them, SKT, before every move they're making, they're pushing up a minion wave. Every 30 seconds, they're pressuring in some way. They're setting up, to try and take advantage there.
And that's exactly what they did against KT in the finals as well. They were constantly changing these lane assignments. Like, nobody would stay in a lane for longer than 2 ways. Faker is mid, suddenly he's stopped, he gets to catch bot lane, Huni moves around, and in those map moves, a turret unlocks. But we didn't exactly see that this game, because the Marines, they're like, nah, you're not gonna rotate, you're not gonna move around, we're just gonna fight you somewhere, maybe we'll win, but at least we'll die fighting if we lose.
And Kobe, to your point about not having time to think, a lot of that is the pedigree of SKT. When you've ingrained a lot of these lessons about how you should play lanes, where you should pressure, when you should join your team, if all of it's a second nature to you now, where your habits are always built around playing the right things, and you go for kills when there's an objective to be had, now you can spend your actual brain power and your actual thinking about, like, oh, how can we outsmart these guys? Now that we know what their play style is, what kind of things are they going to be doing, and you can play that one step farther ahead with your actual sort of mental acuity.
Yeah, it feels like the mid and late game to SKT is just second nature as far as making these decisions.
Right, and that's what it comes down to. These guys have been just absolutely phenomenal. SKT 2-0, they have secured their record so far here in Rio, so now it is time for the analyst to break it down for us.
Thank you very much, Freak. I mean, what a crazy game. SKT come out on top as expected, but exciting to say the least. Before we even try and break this one down, I just want to say there's no shortage of action in the early game, so let's go ahead and take a trip down memory lane here, brought to you by Acer. Let's take a look at this back and forth.
I mean, ultimately, what we learned today is you're going to just see a B-roll of carnage after carnage, is that the Gigabyte Marines will drag anyone down to their level, but unfortunately for them, SKT will beat them because they're better.
And SKT definitely opted into the crazy. It felt like solo queue at times, early Medjais for Faker, action all across the Rift. You wondered, okay, how will SKT deal with the relentless aggression of the Gigabyte Marines? Well, they played their control style. No, they wanted to come in. They wanted to make the flashy plays. You have to feel like SKT, 5 members are smiling, and Coma somewhere is seriously furious at this game, where 37 kills in 27 minutes in an SKT game. They are not known for kill a minute in the LCK, and certainly not with SKT, but it seemed like the boys were having fun on the Rift.
To be fair, they're not known for that in the super serious games, but they are known for being willing to match the starter playstyle anytime someone wants to have a fun game in an international tournament. The former wildcard teams, when they would play against SKT, you see a lot of games like this where Faker is willing to play something fun. Their laners are willing to play something fun, and they're willing to have just a brawl.
No, and that, honestly, that is part of what makes this game so exciting, is being able to see SKT take that moment to show us those mechanics, because we heard the casters talking about it. This team kind of operates on a different strategic level from everyone else, and we know that they can live there in that high-level strategic place. But it's fun every once in a while to see Peanut on Lee Sin just making crazy things happen.
And I'm just used to it being the art house film with SKT, where you sit back and you look and you're like, oh, it all saunters over you. But this was the popcorn film. This was the Pirates of the Caribbean moment here, where they just decide to brawl, the action everywhere. I don't know who the heroes or the villains were, but it was fun. It was certainly fun.
Yeah, and within all of that, I will say, once again, if we're going to commend the Gigabytes for anything, as you mentioned, it's the fact that they're not scared of anyone.
Nope.
Right? And we've said this with, teams in the past as they come in as underdogs. All right, I don't think anyone expects this team to run the table and take the tournament. No. But the least, or rather the most we can ask of them, I misspoke, the most we can ask them is that they come out and they just give it 100% against every squad. And that's what they did here. They did push SKT to limits individually and mechanically within all of those skirmishes.
I mean, at the end of today, there is still definitely hope and expectation that they could be a top 4 team at this event and have a pool 1 seed for the GPL, something that, 3 weeks ago, no one would take that seriously. And we're getting close to that moment because, okay, this was against SKT, but they go at the end of the day 1-1, and definitely one of the better performers on the day.
And I think it has a lot to do with kind of their volatile play style in general. Like, it's super exciting. Like, by the way, where's my close-up there? If you like these Carnage games, have I got a region for you? That aside, like, it's just so snowbally. So sometimes things just go sideways. You can be the better team on the day, but in a best of one, these guys will mess you up.
Very much so. So, I mean, as SKT does come out on the day with that 2-0, they'll be confident moving forward that they have pretty solid control of the tournament. I mean, we mentioned they can be relatively slow starters, but this is not a slow start. It's not maybe a normal start for SKT, but it was fast as hell, I tell you that much.
I mean, you just had to listen to Huni talking in the interview with Shox earlier, how ridiculously confident he is, and I think that the team has a right to have that sort of confidence and almost arrogance, because they're so good, and they've been so good for so long that until someone shows them otherwise, I think there's no reason to believe they won't continue winning.
Well, SKT to 2-0, the Gigabyte Marines 1-1 on the day. That's going to do it for that series. Very fun one. We've got one more game left around the corner here on opening day of the MSI group stage. TSM versus Team WE is coming up next.
Going up there. He's taking a whole bunch of damage, but really Levi's there. There's a flash chase. Goes for David, picks it up. First blood into the Marine. Gonna look for the Q's, gonna get flash tanked by Peanut. Tries to do this one, a knockback in from Stark. Peanut's one hit away from dead. Look at that in the bot lane. Peanut turns it around anyway.
He does go down in the 1v1 and had to use his exhaust.
Stark looks for the damage, he gets it in the solo kill. Under the turret, survives it. Optimus with the confidence. Flash ult should be enough. The Hexdrinker's there though, and there's too much shielding now. Optimus with Ignite. Doesn't have the damage, doesn't have Ignite. The kill and a rampage on that one. Stun on a wolf, but supports are not the ideal kills. The chases through for Peanut. Looks for more. Stark can't find it at all. It's a double. Really, they will end the day 1-1. But SKT take care of business. The perfectly synced flare is there. 2-0 SKT.